Dude, I just fucking remembered this fucking tweet thing. I'm not sure if you seen it, Jay, but it was like who would win in a battle royale, and it was pretty much every character with all these hacks ass abilities, like
I think I
the
seen a tweet like that. I don't know if I
yeah, and like
posted
it was like all the Gilgamesh niggas came out the woodworks and was
Oh
like,
yeah,
this
yeah. It
my
was
Gilgamesh
Gilgamesh. It was Gilgamesh.
with all noble phantasms. I was like, are you
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
kidding,
It was
bro?
four characters. I'm like Gilgamesh. Yeah, I remember that. I don't know if I bookmarked
So
it. But
I'm in the fucking I was in the Discord call with fucking Nugs and them yesterday, and they was that argument went on for like damn near an
I'm
hour
trying to
until
remember who the other three was.
it was
I
Goku
know
with
Deku
unlimited
was one of them. Deku
Deku,
was
Deku
Deku
with
with
all
all perks. I'm like, he's trash.
yeah, I'm just saying
He's
fucking
trash.
Giorno with all stands, and
But
this was
I
why the
mean,
argument
but this
went
the
on for
thing.
about 30 minutes
But
because
this the
they
problem
said
I
that
had with DiGiorno with all stands. You had people from the JoJo's like section, the comment section said there's negative there's stands that have negative implications to the person using it. So it's not all stands are beneficial. So if he had all of them,
I wish
some of
I
them be
wish I knew the
detrimental.
different fucking information, dog. Because this nigga was so annoying about this shit. Like they was just
JoJo
naming
fans,
things
bro.
out the ass. I'm like, bro, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, and then another thing, like everybody was just going on about characters from left and right, talking about Goku with unlimited ki and how this nigga would be unstoppable. I'm like, all right, so y'all basically saying all these niggas on this list. First off, I said that shit in fucking private. I was like, all these niggas' heads would just explode and they would instantly die from the sheer amount of power that just be fucking placed onto them. But like it was like it's like just because they got all that power don't mean they know how to use that shit. Like
Well, I mean, I think if you put Goku on any list, it kind of get a little toxic because from a
that's what I'm
power scaling
saying. First
perspective,
off, he has unlimited key. Like, what's stopping that nigga from just randomly regenerating from literally any damage he takes?
I don't
Because
know.
key is the most
Can do
general.
Goku regenerate? When that become a thing? I didn't know he could
That
regenerate.
nigga got that nigga got Susanoo in the manga. Like he
Now you losing me. Now you
Nigga,
losing me.
Susano.
I'm like, all right, that
Yes,
you got Madara.
he uses Ultra Instinct to just create a key based avatar of himself, and he uses it to beat the shit out the antagonist. And it was
That
like a spiritual beatdown.
didn't know all that. Didn't watch. Never
Yeah,
seen none of that. So I'm gonna let you have it there. I mean, Goku with the limited key definitely. Yeah.
it's
I
the
mean,
most
but
toxic bullshit ever. That's what I said. Like, and Ki is the most general power source in the universe. Like you can do anything with that shit.
I'm
Like,
not
it's
gonna
like
lie though. I'm gonna be real with you though. There's some weird stuff you could do. Like there's definitely some weird stuff you could do with the like with reality marbles and fate. Like there's some weird. It's always weird when you do like the cross world comparison because some
unlimited
people.
policies. My favorite
I mean,
argument.
some of that don't work though. Like let's see, like that's like that. Yeah, you could apply that to certain things. Like, well, yeah, he got the ability to reflect anything that hit his cape, but he can't reflect the universe, so he lose. Like, you can't just. But no, he can reflect anything. The author said anything. So, like
Right? Yeah,
Mario
like
Cape, he
niggas
could
was
deflect the
this
universe.
shit had me dying. That was making Gilgamesh sound like a fucking DC character. They said, bro, he can do
Yeah,
shit that the author doesn't allow him to do. I was like, what
there's,
the fuck
there's a
does
lot
that
of
even
wonky
mean,
shit
dog?
Gilgamesh
Like,
can do. There's a lot
dog,
of. If
dog,
we
that's
talk about possibility, if we talk just pure possibility, whether he would or wouldn't is a different discussion. If we're talking about possibility, like Aya at max power probably can kill everybody on the list because you seen it eliminate a primordial guy, like you seen it. Like the Tiamat was a beast class. What that was, respective in that show, respective to what it was in the show, right? Or in lore, like it was a beast class, a threat against. Is it? You played Fate Grand Order, like you know what those beast class are.
yeah. Not
Like
even
he tried to destroy all. Like who was it? Damn, what's his name? Goetia. Like it, he could have smacked Goetia with it, and he'd have been up out of existence. The same way he smacked Tiamat with it. So
not the current niggas in fucking Fate Grand Order in the Jet version. They so far ahead, bro. It's aliens in the equation now.
they
Oh
would have got
shit.
smacked too. They would have got
No,
damn.
no, no.
Yeah, no, they would. What? Goetia? You don't know who? Stop.
whoever the fuck that fucking monstrosity bull showed me, bro. Like they said, like it can do just it's on
All
some
right, put it like this, one. I'm gonna explain like this, right?
whatever the fuck it is that has an absolute rule to it. It can just be like nah, and just have it happen to them instead.
Solomon, right? Solomon, Solomon, who won the Grow War, was a grand caster. They was scheming with that. Like a grand servant is like on an ethereal level.
They
And
said to
he,
beat that nigga, you needed to use every servant that you had available because
well,
one
no,
servant was
Solomon casters. The any grand servant is not you're not really fighting
you
that.
you would
You're
own
not
grand
fighting it,
servants, Jay.
huh?
You own grand servants in Grand Order.
I mean, it's only a couple of them.
Yeah, but the
There's
fact
only there's
you
only one grand servant in each category, so you only they are one of one. But the point that I'm trying to make is that Goetia was the equivalent of Grand Caster Servant Solomon. So since Goetia, but just is just which would the transitive property. If A could beat C and C could beat B, or yeah, if A can beat B and B can beat C, A can beat C. So since Goetia is a beast class, right? But he's in the ilk of Caster Grand Servant Caster Solomon, and Tiamat is in the ilk of Goetia. Since Aya popped Tiamat, it stands the reason that Aya could pop Goetia, and therefore pops Grand.
Unless it's a bad matchup for him, like on some
You said who?
unless it's like a bad matchup or some rock paper scissors type shit.
Oh no, here's the problem though, right? Grand Caster Solomon, you probably ain't gonna let that happen. Like he got access to different dimensions, the beast. He ain't letting it happen. But I'm talking about just possibility. Could you kill a boy? If you hit somebody with this, could it kill him? Right? I'm like 96% sure it'll work. Like if you smacked him dead on it with it, then he ain't.
If he resisted, like he just like taking that shit.
If you had Goku holding Raditz and you stood right in front, like holding that, with the special beam cannon, like that, it would work. So, but that's a that conversation was up there. I'm like, he a human.
yeah, that shit had me cracking the
He's a
fuck up. I'm
human.
like, y'all might as well just said he has all for one, and even then, that still don't matter. Like,
No, he's a human, Quan. He's on Earth.
he's
He
17
is a
years
human
old.
on Earth. He's a human on Earth. That's the best that get, right?
He's
You're
like
talking about entities that don't belong on Earth.
he's like an X-Men, but like the X-Men from the 1940s, not the current ones. That's all
I mean,
OP and shit.
you
Like
gave Deku all of that. Like I'm not. Come on, man. It's Deku. No disrespect. It's Deku. Like he,
That
he,
nigga-
he using United States when he need to use the milk. Like, he need to use the United States.
that nigga used Milky Way smash and turn into dust instantly.
Or
That's what I'm
use
saying.
the Big Bang Smash.
The
Big
big
Bang Smash.
thing, he would just
Like it-
explode.
I ain't gonna. You welcome back to the TQ Podcast Show. The name is redundant.
We know.
We got another episode for you. I don't even remember what number this is.
This is
but we
16.
staying strong. Episode 16,
16.
and we continue this streak.
That's 4
Got it.
months.
4 months.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
4 weeks every month. 16 weeks. 4 months.
4 months, but
Ow.
it might have been longer than 4 months then because
We missed 2, so it's technically.
Dang,
But we still
month and a half.
we're in our 5th month though, so
5th month.
we in May right now,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
the 15th.
Halfway through that.
So we
So y'all
should
got-
be
yeah,
at episode like 22, but we're not. But hey, I don't know how to math work.
It's going to be in the archives, but nevertheless, gotta the introductions. Right now, me talking TQ Aftermath 115. That's who I am, communicating to you through the screen. To the right of me, we have our esteemed producer who's under the weather.
Yeah. The fuck? Y'all see this cat right here?
Nah, it's blurry.
Shit. But it's the cat.
Good. She don't need no screen time. I'm Infinite Ghost.
Yeah.
I'm under the weather, so excuse me if I sound crazy.
And then below him and me, us, is our highly esteemed Mr. Phoenix.
Yes, y'all know who I am. Damn, I can't even say that with enough confidence. Someday I'll, but yeah, Phoenix Unade. You already know the vibes.
Shout out to the Instagram going. Aaliyah's real going crazy. I don't know why, but it has the most likes, but not the most views.
That would mean the concentration of the content is more appreciated by the people who are watching it.
Yeah, I got the most comments too. So shout out to everybody who checked. If you're from the Instagram, you see this somehow. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
So did everybody watch Hell's Paradise?
I did watch Harris Paradise.
How do we feel about it?
I could do a little hold up, do a little recap of what happened in the episode.
Okay, so the last episode I saw, right,
Yeah,
is we picked up where we left off, right, and where we left off was
the
I don't even
Transformer,
want to describe the scene.
the Transformer ball.
Oh.
Dude, when I first saw, I said, "Balls, balls, what is going on up there?" You had the
I was
invitation.
like, okay, hold up. Like,
I'm about to slide.
Oh,
like,
'cause I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But when see, that's my thing, right? If you see that in any setting, right? See that anywhere in any setting, don't assume you can jump in. Don't assume, even if invited, you know, like some things is too good to be true. You know, you don't even know what's up there. Hence, when you seen the transformation, it was like, pause.
that shit was
Man.
straight out of Near Automata, bro. I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, who are these
Yeah.
niggas?
Then you had I am Groot, but
That was a group. Like,
Oh, Elder Groot.
Nigga said,
It's what he said that really threw me for a loop. Like, yo, I ain't got no hostility because it's gonna be up for y'all anyway. You know?
you're dead.
I'm looking at Bull like, is you dumb? I spared you and the girl because I thought y'all could be useful, but dude, all of that I'm gonna be dead anyway. If I'm gonna be dead anyway, so will you? But I think the world build. I think I'm just intrigued by the world in general. To be honest with you,
Yeah, every episode, I'm looking like, what is happening? What?
That's pretty
I
wack.
can't really make out anything because the world is just goofy. Like it's weird. Like I don't know how to analyze it. But
It's like steroided Dungeons and Dragons. Like every
steroided Dungeons and Dragons. But nah, yeah, that world is.
So then, they meet them. I am Groot, and they also fuck, what happened? The boy with the big ass club and his brother.
Oh
They was
yeah,
getting- they was
bro.
getting clipped out there. They was getting clipped out there. He was
If
like,
they-
"You fighting
if
one
they-
of the immortals."
If they survive that, then they might be them. They might be them for me because
I mean, they
there's
have to kind of survive.
no way they're-
I'm gonna be
there's
real with you.
no way.
Spoiler. Well, not a spoiler. Just a rule of thumb. If they're prominent in the opening, if they're prominent in the opener, they probably do live. I only been 52 fake out a couple times ever. So if you see them in the opening, they might be a good bet to survive.
I gotta rewatch the
Not saying they
opening.
will,
I'm about
but
to
they
say
give us a
yeah,
backstory.
let's go to this nigga then because he watch openings.
That song is fire though.
Yeah, I was just. I was
Later,
just
later.
you don't know what he be missing out on sometimes. You don't know what he be missing out on.
I don't think I heard it in there.
That shit's good. That shit's good.
Once something ends, you know what I do? Like I fast forward to see if they got any like
preview to
any
the next
preview of the next.
Yeah, I do the
episode.
same shit.
So I ain't yeah, no, yeah. Overall, I like it.
Y'all think if you had to make a bet, do they survive or no? The brothers.
You said who?
If you had to make a bet on whether the brothers survive or not, what you bet?
Survival. But you do DraftKings?
Nah, I do FanDuel.
FanDuel,
Yeah.
like, either war. I'm putting that. I'm betting the whole house on that.
At
I'm
least
just
one of them
I'm
survive.
going
I'm betting
with
the whole house on at least one of them survive.
I'm going with my guts. I'm saying they're fucked. I'm going with my guts.
Man, that's kind of
And
tragic.
I like them more than everybody else in the cast.
But I would have told the boy like, look, I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just trying to make my way, boy. I ain't do nothing to nobody. I ain't, you know what I mean? We ain't even got beef.
Now once he swung at the boy, he grabbed his weapon and crushed that shit.
That shit,
I was like, oh, it's
that shit was
GG's.
like bleak, but like how it should have ended. Like,
That was bleach how it should have. I look. This is what I would say. That was I would have been like Paul. Bull would have killed me because the first thing I would have said was pause. What are you doing up there? What are you doing up there? Pause. Who are you? What are you?
they would have turned my ass into a flower because that shit would have been like, oh, hold up.
I'd have been out though. I'd have been out. He wouldn't have noticed me. I'd have been, you know, man. I'd have been in the cut, peeking like, oh, they getting busy up there. What they
Hey,
doing up there?
yo, I just realized we about 5 episodes in, but where the fuck did Akihiko go?
That nigga got some cheeks and he
Yo, let me fuck out. He sailed home peacefully. Fuckiest nigga ever, bro.
He probably got turned into flower because he pulled up was on that energy. It was like, huh? Well, y'all getting busy too?
He didn't even get a voice line.
he did.
That nigga got laid and left.
That's crazy. He said I gotta react to that newest episode. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You do.
Yeah. If I wasn't fucking sick, I would have did it earlier, but this shit.
I completely. My personal gripes on Demon Slayer kept me from watching it. It felt like a task for me, so I just was like, oh shit. I ended up forgetting.
It's a fucking task. Damn, what's your personal graphic with Demon Slayer? Hold on, that's a little topic.
Yeah, we gotta open up that can of worms. This should be.
I think I know what it is, but I want to hear what you.
I think I know what it is too.
It looks so good, but it's just not interesting.
I think this is my theory. This is my speculation. Is that Demon Slayer does not have any Aquan characters in it, so it's like off that strength alone, it's like I can't vibe
But
with it.
they got Blicky breathing.
Yeah, like I vibe with him.
They got the double pump with the.
That nigga got the fucking COD Zombies class build.
He bought the first gun off the wall. He bought that first gun.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Although you were advised not to buy the first gun off the wall, it's a waste of money. The stab don't work, and then you buy SMG. But that's crazy.
He said he got the Olympia.
He's just walking around with that shit, like.
He better pack a punch that joint.
He just whipped that shit out like that.
And that joint got range too.
He had the setup on it though. That
He
gun
had
was
a-
alright, though. I wasn't mad at it.
He look like fucking Chris Redfield in that joint.
And then he got a trigger for each barrel. Like, how
I
extra?
ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at boy.
That's
So
a-
what should be for the day? Because you basically said they got one of your characters, so my speculation was off
He
point.
said it's not
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, the world itself is not interesting.
I think the demons are more interesting than the demon slayers. And when the demons not involved, it's like
Yeah. Oh my god. The fuck when that show has downtime. Oh my god, I just want to hurt myself. It's a pain to watch, bro. When they be in any type of healing or any of that shit, dude, I can't stand it. I can't.
I don't mind the comedic moments. My gripe with the season is just that these demons are not. It's like season 1 demons. Like they're just like
Bro, that shit.
the nigga with the bird. It's like, what do you got a claws and a mouth blast? Like I'm not.
I would say this.
this
I
kind
think what happened, yo, I'm not gonna lie. I think what happened, they turned up. They turned up in season 2, and I think what ends up happening is like now the standard is here. So anything that isn't here is like, even if it's here, it's like it ain't hitting the same. That's how I view it.
That kind of shit is exactly why I dropped shows like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because that shit was like, hey, I'm the main villain, but in order to get to me, you have to get through my super lackeys. Okay, you got through my super lackeys. Well, now I get to bring out my super lackeys. It's like, yo,
The ultimate lackey.
I feel you on that. I just think the second season was so fire. Like when it got going, it's like, yo, like reaching this height is going to be next. Like it's going to be really difficult getting to here, right? It's like after it's like okay, let's take Shometsu no Valkyrie, right? After the Adam and Zeus fight, you have to do a lot to reach that tier, right? Like, because if it get peak fiction by the second fight, every fight afterwards is going to be viewed in a lesser light. It's like this fight was dope, but it wasn't that one though. Didn't make me feel that way I felt
But
there.
that's why you gotta change the dynamics though. Like that's why the
Yeah,
Jack the Ripper fight was fire because it wasn't
yeah.
just you know what
Like
I'm
Yeah, it
saying.
was
like
yeah they went in a different
like
direction with it.
every fight is like super different from each other. Like they all were like different genres, but like at maximum peak of them to the point so much that you can put all those fights in the same tier list. Like
Yeah,
they just were all diverse from each other, but
I don't
still.
know if you could put them in the same tier though, but I'm gonna let you have that one.
but styles make fights though. That's why Tsubasa no Valkyrie is good and unique because it's two different fighters every time. Like it's not no two fighters are the same. But with Demon Slayer, it's Tanjiro and
Yeah,
doing the
yeah.
same sword breathing, sword breathing, sword breathing. That's why the Hashira are so important because they got different styles of fighting. Like the chick with
I agree.
the whip sword.
Yeah, see that I thought was interesting because that made me think. Okay, so now all their swords are built different. Like it's not just the breathing, but
Variety matters.
Yeah,
Variety
and
matters.
if I
If
can,
you don't, if you winning the same way you won prior, it's like all right. There's some level of redundancy. I mean, they are sportsmen though. Like if you seen Tanjiro yesterday, you seen him today, you probably gonna know what he gonna look like tomorrow.
but when that sun halo breathing dance, John, with
Oh
the
no, that
mystical
one's hard,
blood
buddy.
on it, that shit was fire. Cause that's
That was
something
fire
different.
though. That was because Nezuko was thinking. What he said, you don't know what she thinking, so you don't know how to turn the monologue. Or she
Yeah,
be on one.
she
yeah,
be
I
trying
knew
to
it. I knew what she was on the second she was just gripping that
yeah.
sword
So
to
she
come
got the sword. I
out.
was like, oh yeah, she on time.
I feel you. I partially agree. I just feel like
I fight these demons. Like, they fighting goldfish, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
we are
What
like
is?
yo,
fighting
like,
goldfish. I'm just keep bringing it back. I think the second
like
season was so.
they're fighting Bowser's kids. Like it's like, bro,
Bowser
you're on World
Junior.
3. Like what the fuck? Like
And I
I
don't
also
even.
think
I just know that these demons are in a first stage. Like they're gonna go to like a second stage where they turn up and become like more formidable. I'm just waiting for that part to get here, bro.
yeah.
Fighting floating goldfish is not it, or fish with pots.
fighting goldfish ain't it.
That shit
I
was
feel
just
you. I
so
feel you.
like side questy
I
as
don't really.
fuck.
I don't disagree with you all the way. I disagree with you all the way. Like I
I
do
feel
feel
like
like
it
there's
feel like
an
season
element.
one. How Tanjiro's like fighting random demons, like random places, and they're all like not threatening. Like I don't feel like these demons are threatening right now.
Yeah, it's,
That's where I keep
And
boomeranging back
I
to that
said,
and then
second
and then
season.
and then they try to make it threatening by being like, "Oh, hey, yo, like them niggas is dead. They just got sent to the basement and they looking dead. Like, look at them niggas, they dead." And then
Oh,
next
you talking about
yeah,
yeah,
when
when they
Tanjiro
said
and
they're
Nezuko was
just
on the
cliffhangers.
fucking floor like
oh
dead as
yeah,
like, oh my god, wait, are they actually dead? Nah, I ain't.
hell nah.
Like no, I not once did I think that. Like I don't look at it like
It took
oh
me.
Tanjiro in trouble is up for
I,
him. I
I
just
needed like 2 frames to realize that.
this the reason you think that though, right? He's not completely outclassed. Like, put it like this: in season two, he was completely outclassed. Him and they had no they couldn't really rock with the ball. The John brother, like, it wasn't.
Gyutaro.
He was in a different league, and it took the combined effort of everyone there to make that work. Right now, like it's a it's damn near even footing. Like it ain't no you would have thought the upper moon ball would be a lot stronger than what he was. So there's an element where he's like letting down a little bit, as opposed to where the other upper moons you saw, and that's part of the problem. The other upper moons you saw performance wise, like Akaza and John Bravo was on like they was winning. They was winning. Like you was panicking because you knew Rengoku probably wasn't gonna win. You was looking at that John like
It's like I got 10 minutes left of this movie. Ain't looking good.
yeah.
But my thing
You
about
know, like,
season 3 is I feel like they had something going with the whole the sword and the backstory and the inherited memories and all that stuff.
I thought if like once they refurbished that John, took it to the John and made it new again, it'd have been like oh that's the one right there. It's going to decapitate all of y'all.
Yeah, right,
So
right.
I think
Yeah, right now for me, it's just like senseless action. Like, it's no choreography to the fights. It's just
Yeah,
See now, but see
especially
here,
no, and dude,
you know, you saying that, but this is
last
where I keep going back, circle back to the Rengoku and the Kai. That fight was a masterpiece. And then when you fast forward to the second season, Tengen versus John Brown, that was a masterpiece. They was getting busy.
yeah. Even
So
even before that though, when they're fighting Daki, they're fighting Daki, and it was still like more entertaining than this. And she was like when they fought Rui. I mean, that was
The Rui joint was getting spicy too. The Rui joint, yeah, that was getting spicy too.
bro, like when Nezuko used the flame sword, John, and like it was like he was like, all right, bet. That shit was the most it's time to win shit I've ever seen in my life. They did not defend themselves whatsoever.
he
I
just cut
mean,
it through 'em like paper.
I think I
Like
think
what?
what happened though. I think what happened though with the I mean, like I think what happens is two things happen, right? Tanjiro got better, so the fights is going to be as hard. Like he just got like really better. Now, like Dean tell his anime got better though. Like he was like he's like, oh, he could tell with the he's striking how how he spent what like
That
2 weeks. He's in 2 weeks training with a practice dummy, and now he can detect when the attack's coming. He can smell it. I
he
smell
can
bullshit.
smell the direction of the attack. So I'm like, all right, bro.
I'm like, I don't know, but you already know how anime get. You could turn an innocuous ability into the best ability ever.
Yeah. Like if you ever noticed that like the more experience a nigga got, the more they're just able to tell when an attack is coming.
Yeah,
I don't mind that, but to smell it coming, how?
it's so crazy.
To smell the attack coming is
Hey,
crazy.
Hey, look, you ever heard when Wolverine was like, I could smell that shit, bub? It's
Nah.
the same.
Nah, see, this is the thing. You can have sensory type detection. You can have like hearing detection. Smelling detection is crazy because it's like, hey, yo, you can smell like you think really put that in perspective. Like right now, if you said demons have foul odors and you smell their movements, cool. It's a practice dummy, so you can smell when it was straight. Like, what scent did it give off? Like,
Okay, hold,
I
wait,
don't even.
hold on. And another context to that, wasn't Tanjiro always the nigga that was smelling shit? Like
Yeah, he
had
was.
a-
Yeah.
Andro, yeah, his smelling is his power. Like smell is his power.
Okay,
Like
so
his
then,
natural trait.
My thing about it, he's smelling into the future. Like how do you smell a future attack? Like what do that smell like?
I don't know.
It's like if you want to punch me, like I hear your punch before it happens. Like how? How do you hear something before it happens?
I mean,
It's
this
not like
has always been my logic, though, right? With certain abilities, right? If you fine tune them to the nth degree, there's like some modicum of a signal that
Nah,
now, mind
you
the
should apply
camera's on,
enemy
you can,
logic.
like,
Just apply
like in
enemy
that
logic,
match,
bro.
you can hear the, you can hear the beginning sounds of the, you can hear the, when somebody about to, you mean you can hear the, and somebody about to kick you.
You don't hear it until they already do it though.
yeah.
Okay, you don't think you making the sound while you winding up? You don't hear the bones, like you don't hear your muscles moving. You don't hear none of that.
Hey, look, if
That make more sense than the smell though. I ain't gonna lie.
it
Yeah,
smells
I don't know how you smell. I don't know how you smell muscles moving.
that shit, like you're gonna look to the left.
The only thing worse than that is probably taste. Like you could taste it. You could taste it in the atmosphere that somebody about to kill you.
Oh yeah.
That's
You
damn
know,
near,
one of the-
that's damn
one of
near
the,
fetish characters, bro. Like tasting intent, like that's fetishy as fuck.
But one of the cheat codes has always been bloodlust, though, right? Like if you could feel the bloodlust, you could be able to sense an attack before it come, and that'll make it easier to react to something because you could feel the bloodlust. Now I don't know what that means.
I was good as shit at that.
I mean, but then what if we trained, right? Like you don't think we
Nah,
gonna pull
it-
the black blade?
Nah, it's been situations where we grew up and like we could feel like the tension and like oh something about to happen. Or we were in school and you could feel like something about to happen. It's like oh let me get to
You didn't move until the Chinese store was shot. So your abilities is way off. You'd have been decapitated. You
I'm
ain't
not
gonna
gonna-
move
I'm not
until
gonna
it was
lie.
happening.
Sometimes it is a feel thing. Like when I be playing Street Fighter, and like it's not even that his meter is full. It's like it take me to like sometimes I'll throw somebody 3 times and just be like, I know you about to do something. So then I just slowly back away, and then they actually do something. Like, and it's
So
like
you know.
where I
You can
know.
predict it.
and it's like they not gonna do nothing. So I just
So
throw them.
you can predict it based off of patterns and all that. So
That's kind of that's kind of forcing your opponent to act a certain way though. It's not really predicting it. Well, you are predicting it, but you're forcing them to. Like, if I do the same thing to you 5 times,
It's an educated guess.
you're gonna yeah.
A lot of time because it depends on the scenario. Like, because if it's a throw loop, like if I'm doing throw loops, and it's like I don't know what they do prior to like beforehand. Like if I didn't know the pattern, like sometimes I can just feel like it's like, all right, you blocked this shit about 8 times, so I bet you you can't break throws. So I just throw them all day. But it's like enough times I can feel like, all right, you kind of want me to get off you. I'm not always right all the time, but it's certain times where I just know.
Yeah, like something. Like, that's how I feel about Yu-Gi-Oh too. Like if I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh and I got like 2 cards in my hand and I can activate, I'm making the first joint to bait you to negate it, so that I can activate my second joint without you negating it. Like I'm forcing you to do what I want to do, but I'm predicting at the same time. Like it's
Yeah.
that's what essentially what it is.
What if I'm the swordsman, right? And I'm leaving it in the opening to make you think it's actually there, and then as soon as you try to close in, decapitate you. Boop.
I'm a smell that coming though.
I was about to say that's some Musashi shit, but this thing is said he just smelled it instead. Like,
He's been seeing a thread on the neck the whole time, an invisible thread that telling him, "Yo, this is the perfect time to strike."
Yeah.
So, like he been having it the whole time.
He ain't do this in season 1, bro. And
Hey,
then,
yo, that's
oh,
bro, like they need to bring that back. Like that was clean.
I partially agree. Like I said, I still stand on the idea that I think what ended up happening was that second season they was here with it. So anytime they don't match that level is like it's a letdown a little bit. And I agree. I personally do think it's a letdown. But like I said before, Akaza and the John brother did so much when they was fighting. It was weight. Like I felt heavy while watching it. I was like, hey yo, this a bad situation. I don't feel that heavy right now.
yeah.
Like when Bull did water prism, the water prism didn't hit me because I'm like, yo, he gonna get out of this. Like
Yeah, I was like, that's
water prism ain't real. Like that ain't. Come on, that
And
held
I-
capacity for
I
half
like
the episode.
cool too, because he's exactly how I feel was watching that episode. I'm just like him. I'm like,
The melancholy, the
okay. He put you in a water jar. All right, bet. Just slash out of that real quick, please.
But I still like the season though.
I
I
feel-
still like the season.
Yeah, right now I think it's better than season 1, but obviously not better than season 2. And when I think about season 2, I don't include Mugen Train, but I should because that is season 2.
I was just about to say it was right there.
But I think it's better than season 1, but not better than season 2.
But even if you didn't include it, I would just say that situation, the Mugen Train, it hit hard. So it's like, yo, this was this. Then you had the second season, that entertainment district. It was like, yo, this was this. And now it's like, yo, you gotta keep matching that. You gotta keep, you know, man. It's like if somebody said a crazy bar, the bar following immediately afterwards will never hit as hard because it's not as crazy. Who was it? I'm trying to remember what Jay Black said. He said the first time you had that donut, it's amazing. That second donut immediately afterwards don't really taste as good.
It don't.
And that third donut is like, I'm still eating donuts. So
It's like a bar. Like you said, it's like a bar. Like season 2 punchline at the end, crazy. And on season 3, you gotta build the punchline back up. That's what they're doing right now.
I think it'll get right though. I know it'll get right.
Yeah.
If not this season, next season. I know it for a fact.
Nah, this season gonna be crazy. I can feel it.
I believe so.
They got, like I said before, they gotta get past this. It's like the preliminary, like stage 1 of the boss fight. You gotta get to that stage 2.
It's only the first couple. This is literally the first half. Like I'm expecting the back end to get goofy.
But my thing is like when the old Neiman creeped into the room, like that was like intense and it's fire. And then like he spent to this little forums and like initially I was like, okay, they kind of fire. And I'm watching them and the nigga just got claws and wings on his back. I'm like, all right, Tandro, if you don't slice this nigga up, bro.
You know,
Around.
me with that.
Like,
That
y'all
is not
really
the
trying
step.
y'all really trying to scare me with that shit. Talking about some, hey yo, these claws they cut through diamond. I'm like, this nigga tanking it, so obviously he must be strong as shit.
Are you
Like he,
you doing a little scratch on his face or scratch on his arm and shit?
right? Dude.
He's blocking your talent with his sword made out of steel. All right.
Yeah, no, I mean this what happens, right? There's a like I said, Tanjiro did get like
Yeah.
now I don't know how much better he got,
Again,
but
again, like this is what I mentioned, like shows like that where it's like with Joe. That's why I dropped JoJo's. Like, bro, like
Cut your ass.
there was a
Oh.
stand that was a whole ass car, bro. I was like, if y'all don't get the fucking deal right now, you're fighting a car. Hello, governor.
I'm not gonna hold you. The thing that killed me with JoJo's is to this day I couldn't understand Dio and his hate, like
Oh,
his
he was
beef.
just a naturally hating ass nigga. You know how you got niggas like Bowser and Eggman in them that's just like, hey, I'm just here to hate.
So he's like cartoonishly hating,
Yeah,
cartoonishly.
it's literally in his blood to hate. Like his pop was a hater, and he was like, I hate my pop, so I'm gonna hate the rest of the world. Like fuck the world.
Man, I couldn't understand it though. Like he was hating to a degree.
He's
It, like
so
at
his
least with Frieza, when
girlfriend
Frieza hated the Saiyans, you damn monkey. It's like, all right, he's scared of her. Like he really scared of him. Like in his heart of hearts, he know it's up for him. But with Dio, he was just drawn from the jump. Yeah, not even over like he was just attack. He was like drawing poison in the pot. I'm like, hey yo, what you?
shit was so.
You have any other reason besides that I'm evil that I'm doing this?
That's what, dog. I feel like that's what made him so likable though. Like it's like
That's what made him likable.
yes, because that nigga was just ridiculously evil. Like it just didn't make any sense why he
It's a
did half.
world though. That's what made him
This is a
likable.
world
He
though.
became a vampire. to kill- Yo,
He's
he was on such
he was
demon
so much
time.
he was so much of a hater that he stole his own bro body. Like,
It didn't add up. Like it did not make sense. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna steal your girl too. It was like, hey, yo, bro, what's up with you, man? Chill, chill. Then when I say he hated the family though. He hated everything about it. He just hated them. I'm like, yo, this doesn't make any sense. Like I don't understand the beef here. Like I'm a torture your fan for perpetuity too, for as long as I'm alive. Like every opportunity I get, it was like, yo, what did he do to you?
what made it even better was the fact that he got context. Like he knows why he should hate his family, but he's like, no, fuck that reason. I just don't like him. Like, nigga,
I don't like him.
like
Like,
they
why
even tell you like, hey yo, your pop was kind of wild. I'm like, yeah, I agree, but y'all still some bitch ass niggas.
It was like it reminded me of Stink Meaner a little bit from the Boondocks. Like
Fact.
it was like it was his whole energy. Like yo, like I'm gonna hate on you, and you retaliating on me, hating on you, gonna make me hate you even more. So
Yeah, and that's why I was like, the second he was gone, I was like, there ain't no other villain that's gonna hit like him or Cars. Like, it's just not. Like all of them is like, bro, I'm the president of the United States. It's like, okay, dog. Okay.
yeah, I mean I've read it several times over on different like people takes on what makes something like a good show or whatever, and part of it is essentially your villain or slash antagonist has to be very compelling. Like give them almost protagonist qualities.
That's
And
very debatable. That's very debatable. It's and subjective to the people watching because there's people who just like there's people who do love that shit, and then there's other people that's like, well, I like the opposite end, where it's like I like the niggas that's just ridiculously like off the spectrum and shit like that.
Broly.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, first movie Broly.
Broly is godlike. Like what?
I mean that's the example that came to mind. He said I just like the people that's just batshit. They just off the wall with it. I'm just saying that the argument that they made from a compelling. If your antagonist is compelling, when they're on screen, it's fascinating. Like this is intriguing, right? If they're not compelling, now mind you, I think Broly was partially compelling. Now for the different reasons, but
Yeah.
it's like sometimes some of these characters get you spooked. Like if he on demon time, it's like, oh wait a minute, this can end really
I mean,
badly.
like, I might be misinterpreting the word compelling in general because when I hear that shit, it almost sounds like you want me to feel sorry for this villain.
No, not necessarily. Compelling is when they are on screen, how much weight is there, right? Like if I see this person on screen, how do I feel, right? So an example would be Madara was compelling. Like when he was on screen, you knew something was about to go down. Like it wasn't about to be kosher. Something it was about to get real for people. So an ex-
Nah,
so an example.
I think what plays a part into that too is how much you believe what the character is capable, how much you believe what the character is capable of doing, like how much you
true.
believe what they say. Cause certain characters like they say might talk a certain way or like or might say they gonna do something and you just in there like you're not gonna get that done, bro. But like characters like Madara, you like he might actually do this shit, like or this character might actually be about that life,
Yeah,
like.
And then it's the spice they got, and it's the tension. Like how nervous. Well, not saying you always gotta be nervous, but when you see that character on screen, what like do they hold your attention? Like
They
yo,
do they evoke emotion?
oh, dude. Whenever Hisoka hit the screen and then his
see
theme start
Hisoka, but
playing,
see this is the thing.
oh my
Hisoka
god.
carry weight. When Hisoka's on screen, he's always doing something, and it's like he's drawn, but it's Hisoka. Like he
Except for that,
carry.
yeah, especially during that one time where he was just so sleep deprived, you couldn't explain what the fuck
They
happened.
was walking around like.
I was like,
All
what
bloodlust. He
is
said the
this?
next one, the
Bro,
next
you
one
could
I see
start
him
a whole
killing.
series about that shit. Like,
But that's the thing though, right? It's
Punish
compelling. Like,
Hisoka. Like, that's a Mugen character.
okay, let's take it back. If we go back to Naruto, young boy, Naruto, not even Shippuden. When you saw Itachi, it was up. It was like, oh, snap. We
Was
in
this
trouble.
before or after you learned the Rasengan?
Don't even.
I'm, I'm just being petty, bro. I'm just being petty. I'm just
And
being
that
petty.
question, I'm like, it don't matter when he learned it or not. But he was like, this before or after. This is like, yo,
I'm just being petty from YouTube, from Instagram comment niggas.
I think my favorite thing about niggas like Itachi is where they're so compelling of a character that that niggas could wear the Akatsuki jacket for two different reasons. Like you got a nigga that's like, well, I wear the Akatsuki jacket because I fuck with the Akatsuki, and then another nigga's like, well, I wear it because I fuck with Itachi. Like we are not the same.
yo, that's a segue. That's a segue to the character design component.
Oh, true, true, true. And I
I
believe
would
these should
say
be
one of the
temporary.
fire's character design is I don't even know if I would call it a character design. I think the Akatsuki aesthetic is a quotable. It's a banger. It's a W. They won with it.
Yeah.
Like it don't get now the actually you gotta unpack that question right with the actually let me go to the specific question and specifically right. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me find it. Because the specific question is because I don't know, do the character make the design or do the design influence the character? How you feel about that, Quan?
Do the character make the design, or does the design influence the character?
Like how so when you like does what a character wear? How should I asking this? Right, it says what is one of the best character designs you've ever seen? Now, implicit in that
Uh,
question,
it depends. I mean, like that question in itself, like the design influence the character and vice versa. It's like it depends on the theme of the world.
the reason I asked that question is because you, there's like I think everybody's seen this, right? Where there's a character you see, you don't know nothing about the character, you just see the actual image of the character, and like, yo,
Know
that's
all about him.
like they fire with it, right? But then there's also another element is that you vibe with a character so much that their aesthetic works. So the question then becomes: is it the aesthetic or is it the character? Because when you
Uh,
ask me about a character design, I can't think of a design that I vibed with when I didn't vibe with the character.
it's a little tricky. I mean, it's a little tricky because I mean that kind of just really what that leads into is it kind of leads into what's your favorite thing about your favorite character, really. Like, because the things that's built on for the character is like what you like about the character.
But I can't say that any of the characters that I vibe with aesthetically were crucial. Can you?
Were crucial. I mean,
Like,
like they absolutely needed those designs.
how important was the appearance of the character you vibe with? Like, how important is it?
Uh, I mean, I mean, again, that's hard to say because I mean, their personality is what makes their attires and what they
That
look
that
like.
that's that go back to my original question. Like, is it the aesthetic or is it the design? Because it's like if you ask me what's a banger design I seen, I can't even think off the top of my head any character ever that was like, yo,
I guess,
this
I guess,
aesthetic right here is quotable.
I guess the best example would be Kratos because like everything that he has built onto him is like it all has a purpose and meaning. Like there's not a single thing he has that doesn't have a reason behind it. Like
That's fire.
even to the
That's
little
fire.
like
But so you would say character
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna turn my. I think I understand this question now. I'm gonna turn my brain off a little bit. I'm gonna turn my brain off a little bit, and I'm gonna go with Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. His design is so fire because it's like you look at him and you know that nigga is just dangerous. His head's on fire. Why is his head on fire?
that's
Because it's
fire.
fire.
That's
It's
fire.
hard. Like you can't not see him with his head on fire. It don't look right. That nigga is just he screams serial killer more than the most iconic serial killers you could think of.
And that makes him fire.
Yeah, like so. I mean, I guess, and to go with that question, like I would have to go Sweet Tooth. Like I vibe him way too much, and not to mention like even his voice is iconic. Like that, it's got that Shao Kahn like voice. Like
The Shao Kahn voice was fire.
he got no business being a main character, and they made him the main character. A literal menace to all of mankind.
I vibes with it. I vibes with it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't think of one off the top of my head of a design that I'm like, yo, this design unto itself is fire.
Ain't you the gold nigga? I'm surprised. Like you could just say
I am,
Gilgamesh.
but I I don't think
I don't know any armor that get more royalty than his.
who's
Gilgamesh's.
Gilgamesh's. No, I think I know, but like this, I think the golden aesthetic is fire, but I never. I'm like, yo, all right, Gilgamesh one of them, right? But I never thought that from the design though, right? I thought the design was lit, but I didn't think the design was
I thought
like
it
I
was
said. I don't know
ironic.
how much of it was the design versus the aesthetic though, because I didn't see other people gold plated armor and not pull it off. It's like, nah, that ain't it. That was weak sauce. That I don't even know why you got that armor on. That's like somebody
Iron-
naming you
iron-
Magnus and you don't
ironic
live up to it.
Ironically, for me, in terms of his design, what made me realize he was him in terms of design, it was because I watched Fate Stay Night first, and every servant was in their uniforms, but he was just in like he was in
Oh yeah,
Adidas.
he was drippy. He ain't got a weird because he in Face State Night. He was just chilling.
That nigga was
Even in the Fate Zero, he wore the armor every now and then, but it was like other times he was just in casual gear. Like I'm good, I'm straight. This ain't all
that
of this.
in itself could play into what makes his design so fire is the fact that he has a proper uniform in terms of design, but he doesn't utilize it.
I'm trying to think, man. It's a lot of characters, man. It's a lot of characters that existed ever. Like there's a lot of characters that if you, but to me, it's about like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's I I honestly because I mean there's a lot of factors that go into it, personality wise and all that stuff. Welcome back, Dean. That was a crazy malfunction.
Crazy malfunction. He was having the technical difficulties.
We can't hear you though.
Facts.
Oh, there we go. I said, "Nah, young boy had woke up. Young boy had woke up. Had to go put him back to sleep.
Sound like he said young boy woke up and then he made several statements later.
Had to put him back to sleep.
That's
Oh,
fire.
all right. All right. Well, yeah, we was just going over what makes a character design fire. I mean, no, not what makes a character design fire, but what's your favorite character designs? And I went with Sweet Tooth. Like at
From
first,
Twisted Metal.
I used Kratos as an example of what makes a design like fire, and then I had realized I got to turn my brain off a little bit for this, and I went with Sweet Tooth because like at face value, like he has a lot of shit that don't make sense being there, but you don't even realize it. Like his head's on fire, but like it go with everything he got so much that you don't even question it. Like it's just naturally there.
It's like a part of his story type shit.
Yeah. It's not even a part of his story. That's the crazy part. This nigga was already bald. He just was like
Bald.
he just set his head on fire. It also depends on the canon too, because I mean, if you go with Twisted Metal Black, he was cursed to wear that mask forever. Like the priest had cursed him by the demons to make him wear that mask, and it set his head on fire. But
That's kind
the
of tragic right there.
yeah, that's why he joined that Twisted Metal tournament, because he was joined the tournament and was like, well, they can get Calypso could provide me the cure. I could take off this mask and I could be a normal person again. But then he got to the cure, he looked at that shit and was like, I'm gonna never be able to kill again. So then he destroyed that shit, was like, fuck all that, and then
That's
killed
kind of
Calypso.
really metal, though. That's kind of really metal right there. It said, well, I could be normal or kill again. The decision made itself.
Yeah, all the other ones, he just was like, all right, I'm awoken now, like I'm me. So he got himself some gasoline and he set his head on fire. It's like, yo, what kind
I
of
don't
shit?
know, man. I don't know. Dean, what's your favorite character design?
Ah, fuck.
Like I said before, I can't distinguish the design from the aesthetic, or not. Yeah, the aesthetic from the character is like, to distinguish it is like, because I feel like what you can have drip, but if you don't function well, like if you a goofy, it ain't gonna hit the same. Like it ain't gonna work. No matter like what they said, it's the man that makes the clues, not the other way around. So if you terrible or you corny, don't really matter how much drip you got.
Oh, speaking of that type of character, fucking the boy from My Hero with the jacket on, with the we every touch he can like amalgamate it and shit. We hit the bird beat. He had the
Oh
fucking
yeah, with
Oh,
the
overall,
Falco.
yeah, that nigga.
overall,
When I first seen him, I was like, damn, he's gonna be so fire. That character design, he gotta go fire.
and then what happened? And then what they did? He became a paraplegic,
A parallel park.
handless out there.
Oh, that's so fucking
So
funny.
I mean, but see, that goes back to my point. He saw a design that he thought was fire, but the character botched it. He had the aesthetic, but then he flopped. And now it's like the aesthetic fire, but since he not, I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know. Character design is different. 'Cause certain characters.
That's what
like,
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I can't really.
It's
I
hard
don't know how
to
to.
you almost got to turn your brain off a little bit for it, because the question itself is very very open ended, because it's really dumbed down to what you like about your favorite character.
But it wasn't. I guess you could argue some of it, but it wasn't really like. Let's take Light Yagami. It ain't about the aesthetic.
Yeah, but
It's about
personality is design too.
it. That so you would incorporate. See me. I'm not even thinking that the design.
I
I'm
was
thinking
kind of
purely
thinking
from
that
the appearance
too.
element.
I was kind of thinking that too because some of my favorite characters, like when I first saw Asai, he had a crop top on and shit. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like you can't
He
you
said.
can't
He
you
said.
can't you can't like Light Yagami is like the best example of all of that. That is just a regular nigga.
That's what I'm. That's what. So when you say aesthetic, it's like.
Yeah, I'm talking about aesthetic of the world.
Yeah. Well, not right here, right over here. But, I got
So
school
it's like,
clothes. A
like,
dashiki.
if the aesthetic of the world is based on reality, then naturally they're gonna be wearing regular clothes. Now there are some characters that do extras with the clothes they wear, like persona characters, but even then, it's like it's still gonna be personality at the end of the day that really stands out more than what they actually look like.
Gotta have drip.
Persona characters now was fire too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I feel
I,
when the Kechi went like Black Mask, he had that fucking he had Loki and shit.
that shit was.
That
I
was
don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one because that was bro was in PJs, bro. He was in
He had
PJs.
all black PJs on.
what I always thought was spooky was the plague mask. The plague mask I
Oh.
always thought was spooky.
Those are
Like that
fire.
1960s, the 18th century
Then
plague mask, Dr. John.
you'll
If you
love
saw
niggas
one of
like
them,
then you'll
that go
love
all the way back to SCP I forget which one. I think it was SCP 96. And he kept talking about the pestilence. I was like, "Hey, how come you keep killing them?" He said, I cured them of their pestilence. It's just like, what is this pestilence? Oh, come now. See, you see? What will say? Let us now recall. That's how he was
Let us
speaking.
now
Like,
recall.
now recall that the sickness that they were plagued with. How come only you can like see the pestilence? Because it's everywhere. Then he was spooky. The vibes he gave you, the reason it was scary is because he was like, I'm helping them. I'm curing the plague. I got rid of their infirmities, and then I cleansed them of their impurities. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I vibe with that. You're a doctor as well. You heal people's sicknesses. It's like, yeah, but we don't do what you do. So nah, yeah. We had but the plague mask aesthetic I always thought was fire. Like even now I have traditional drawings of it, but I never like got into a digital bag with it because it was like this a little too much right
And
here. But
you'll love niggas like Hunk from Resident Evil and Radica from Killzone.
Hunk from Resident Evil is fire.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Hunk,
incredible, bro.
Quan, you not
Don't put him in
understanding.
any situation. He'll get it
No,
done.
no. The thing that you know how you got like speed runs. It's like Hunk, when somebody do a speed run with Hunk on RE, or like in the comment section, it was like, yo, this is how he would do it. Like moving hella
Hey,
efficiently. Like he'd turn the corner,
hey.
pop, throw the grenade, and then he moving effortlessly. Like he,
That nigga, that shit'll be like, hey yo, I don't know, man. You got about 10 minutes to get from Philadelphia to
my
New York.
extraction point.
I'll get there in 5 minutes. What's my
My
extraction
extraction
point?
point.
Nigga said from Philly to New York in 10 minutes. I'll do it in 5.
Philly to New York in 10 minutes is crazy. On the street full of zombies and all affected. Then he said that my extraction point. Every time the bull was speaking, he's like, "Where my extraction point at?" He's like, "Yeah, it's only like 5 minutes away. You gotta make it to the what's his name? Oh damn, the building was barricaded by dogs and flying cats. You gonna have to do it the other way."
Flying.
Got you. Yo, that was fire though, cause on I think it was RE2 the remake. He's talking to the bull. Bull like, "Hey, yo, damn, Hunk, I don't think we're gonna be able to make it to the extraction point." Hunk gonna say, "It is what it is. Just prioritize your own safety. I got this." Like on some like, I'm not gonna die just because y'all not gonna come get me. Like I'm good.
He pulled a Deem. He said, "We getting raped and free." He was like, "All getting raped and free."
But this is the problem though, Quan. When you get to the end, right? You get to the extraction point. When you get there, Hunk like, "Yo, I told you to leave. Why you come back?" Boys, I had to see the legend for myself. Hunk was like, "Yo, boy," it was like, "Yo, Hunk, one of them." Like you, Hunk, you ain't got nothing to worry about when that.
That's
mission,
what I'm
like,
saying. Like, if he was in RE5, and Wesker would have saw him and be like, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes to get this shit done.
Nah. What Wesker would have left Jill. Like he wouldn't even have played. Wesker would have saw Hunk.
She would have
Said,
been
"I
like,
am
"What
the
the fuck
perfect
he
life
doing?"
form."
He was like, got his extraction point.
You'd have walked up on Wesker. Where my extraction point?
I think the access codes an extraction point.
Like Dean, Dean, like you, Wesker would have been doing all that dodging and all that ducking and dodging, and the Hunk would have ran down on him. Like, how? What you think this is?
That should be like who winning, Batman with prep time or Hunk with his extraction point?
Hunk gonna get there. Hunk gonna get to where you gotta go. Hunk gonna get there where you gotta go. All them BOW, Hunk ain't Dean.
Where the
When I
fuck is
say
Hunk at, bro? Where the fuck at?
function, like you
I
had
don't know. He's clothed in mystery, and they don't know what his real face look like. Even the
Dean.
higher up niggas don't know what he look like.
a monstrosity came out the sewer, right? And then like one of the quick time events came out. Boy, the way boy played it, stuck a grenade in his mouth and then kept like sidestepped it. Like came out, wrestled with it, stuck a grenade in his mouth and kept it pushing. And then he's like, where my extraction point at? Like everybody, oh my goodness, that's a monstrosity. Trump like relax. With that helicopter. Make sure you got enough fuel for everybody. Come on, yo, we got this.
Extraction point is a crazy motivation, bro.
Like, who was it? Mr. X burst through a wall, tried to grab him, Hunk sidestepping.
He getting hunted down by Nemesis and Mr. X, and he like, where my
Hunk whole energy, like, listen, if I wasn't sent to kill you, you not my problem. Like, I'm gonna keep it going anyway. Like, okay, like thinking you a monster. Okay, so what?
Like he's
Where
dead. He's dead as the Akuma of the Resident Evil verse. Like, cause he's always only a secret character.
That's why he was fired. That's why. See, my thing is the aesthetic is secondary. I think mask characters are fired too. Like a mask go a long way to add an intrigue.
Yeah.
I just can't give you. I'm sorry, but I just can't give you. Like I'm a character designer, and I don't be like, hey, yo, this design right here, it.
I do that. I just can't remember right now. Like,
Yeah. See, the thing is, Jay, is because when you see a character, when you see a render of a character, yeah, it says a lot, but it's not always gonna be what make everybody go, oh yeah, this gonna be the one right here. It's the performance that they make, hence the personality. That's why I say personality plays a part in the character design.
That's why I can't really. That's why I guess if I had to
And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's a roundabout way of saying what's your favorite thing about your favorite character in terms of design.
it's about certain, like, if I see like if I see like a wallpaper, if I see like fuck is the like for a new season of anime, like a poster. If I see a poster of an anime and I see a certain character design, I'm like, ooh, that nigga right there, I know he gonna be fired. Like I can eye characters out like that. So
Oh yeah, and even in shit like that, like again, that's not a render either.
They
That's
gonna lie to you though, Dean. You gonna be wrong sometimes. I bet money off Hell's Paradise. You thought the one bull that was gonna be fired, then the giant made mincemeat out of you. You'd have been like, yeah, yo, I'm telling you, boy, right here gonna be special.
He was not him.
This is my thing about eyeballing
but we thought that because of the character design though. Like his character design.
But that's my point though. You could botch the design. So going back to what Quan said in regards to appearance, he's saying you gotta factor in the personality because the appearance itself isn't enough. And so I partially agree with him, but it's like I rock with different characters for different reasons. So I'm not even 1,000% sure how I would answer the question. So I'm gonna have to.
I think on your standpoint, it's their performance, like what they actually did in the show.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's how much weight did you have? Like, you could be fired, but if you was irrelevant, if you wasn't guy number 4, if you was guy number 7, we have a problem. Like they named you Magnus, oh that's fire. You died in the first episode.
Nah, a prime example of that, like. I always find it funny how my examples are always outside of anime and shit, but it's like, you know, it's such a general question, but mine is always going to be Nikali from Street Fighter because his design is like, is perfect into what he is supposed to be. It's like literally perfect. But then you get down to what he did in terms of story, he carried 0 weight and lost to everybody. Like, he's actual dog shit. But like his design is just so fire, and like his the way he is, and the every aspect and fact about who he is as a character is why I like him so much.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying makes sense. But I do also think that certain times, sometimes you can just look at. Sometimes a character design is so like good to you specifically that you can just eyeball it sometimes. Like if I,
Yeah.
if it's hard to say because I know what the character does, but like Ibuki, like when I first saw her, I instantly knew I gotta play her. Like it's off the character design alone. I don't know what she played like. I don't know her move set, skill set, but I gotta play that character because I like the or like Manette. When I first saw Manette,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like I
yeah.
got this character design. I got or like what's the new drawing from Street Fighter Six?
Kimberly.
That's the big husky. I'm talking about the husky, like the big.
Oh, Marissa. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The big husky jaw.
That's a butch ass name, by the way, Marissa.
Like when I saw her, I'm
That is
like,
butch.
I gotta use her, bro. Like,
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
yep, he's up. I'll be right back.
All right.
I would say I rock with the Koski aesthetic. I thought that was fire. If we going through some of my favorite characters, like I thought Pain had real weight. Like just the Renegon aesthetic, like the ripples and I like when you saw when he was looking at
Oh
you, it was
shit.
up.
Listen. Here's another thing that goes into a character design. Their fucking theme song, bro. His theme song better than almost any others in that series.
Yeah, yeah, he had his own John. Like the holy music John that held like he did a he did a planetary devastation when the music was playing in the background. It was like, yo, no,
That
it
shit
might
was
be up for
hard.
you in this one.
That shit was
So
hard.
so um I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a Jaegerist. I rock with Aaron Yeager. I wouldn't say the character design in particular go hard. So I would like
I would believe so. It tells stories. You don't even gotta be there to understand the stories the shit he's been through. Like this, if you like, you look at, like, say a nigga is like, all right, I'm gonna just start from the latest season of Attack on Titan. They'll still know, like, hey, yo, this nigga been through some shit. Like he been through
I
hell.
agree. I just don't know if that the aesthetic is fire. I'm just saying. I just rock with the character, right?
Oh, I believe that it's actually like fire. But again, that just goes into, like, like, again, the question is, what's your best character design?
Like in my head, who I thought was fire, or a fire, like like one of the who was it? I don't even know if I would say the design. But I would have to, right? Because I thought the design was fire. Malakath the Black Blade. I don't know if you remember from Elden Ring, but it was like he was like a beast bear type thing with a claw a cloth. Like he was like a bear, like a circle, like he was like a
What was
big
his
round
name?
bear.
Melik?
Huh?
What was his name? Melik?
Malakath the
Oh
Black
yeah,
Blade.
Melik. Yeah,
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 when he
yeah.
pulled now mind you, I don't know if it was aesthetic or what, it was because it was a transformation with the black aura, but he pulled the blade out of his hand, and it was like he was in his bag, like it got busy right afterward. I don't know if that was part of it, but it was when he transformed, I got nervous. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Another character design for me, like when I first saw the character, was like Krollo. He had the tat on his forehead, he had that jacket on, he had that book
Wait,
in his
who?
hand. Krollo Lucifer.
Rolo
Polo
Lucifer.
was fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You might be on the one with that one. Yeah, because I thought when you first saw him. So first of all, he was the leader of the Phantom Troop. Secondly, it was like, all right, he passed in the design test. He passed in the design test. Now is he lit?
It's like
So I
check,
think
check.
so. You could make that argument. You could definitely make that argument. Like you could tell somebody lit when you first see him and they put in work. So
I think character designs are like you can tell if a character has a good character design if you change the art style and the character design still good. Like
still fire. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's
yeah.
the little things too, right? Like I think like Super Saiyan 2, Teen Gohan when they had the static electric, like everybody else Super Saiyan, like
he had a little bang and shit.
the little yeah, he was putting in work. He was putting in work. Or when when they inverted the colors. One of my favorite characters, Vegito, right? When Goku and Vegeta first fused, and then like the clothes they wore, they just inverted. They
Color
inverted
scheme.
the color scheme. That to me was fire, but still had the Vegito blue. Like I didn't understand how, like, like put that in context from a fusion perspective. Like we're gonna fuse and our clothes is gonna merge. So what gear we wearing? Like I thought that was fire too. So, but you gotta pull it off though. Like Vegito, his whole aura was fire. Like when he was putting hands on Boo, that was hilarious. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was episode 16. We're gonna continue the streak, like on all social media platforms. We got the outro from yours truly, TQ Aftermath. Then we got who below me?
That's,
I think Quan below
that's
me.
Quan.
Oh, yeah, Phoenix Nade. You know, you can Google that shit. I'll appear anywhere.
Damn, you say you got emotion like that.
Facts.
I'm a plague.
Oh,
Not, I'm more of a plague than actual prophet.
I'm a virus, not.
A highly esteemed executive producer.
That's me, Infinite Ghost. Check out the Instagram, check out the TikTok, and check out the Twitter.
Right after Quan make it.
like,
All right,
comment, subscribe. Peace.